So these are the psychological changes in the adolescent psyche. Firstly, the adolescent is going to be forming their identity in these crucial periods of their life. So a healthy opinion or attitude towards themselves or their identity, as opposed to role confusion, will be seen if the individual has other interpersonal or personal situations which may hinder them to forming a consistent and a coherent sense of self. Independence and autonomy in thought, in behavior, in decision making will be sought by the adolescent. So, because they are coming out of childhood, they want to make their own decisions and will insist that they do. It is important to not force decisions on children but instead collaborate with them and guide them rather than command them in what to do. Exploration. So, due to the tendency to form identities, their tendency for autonomy, you will see that they are also very much into exploring new activities, new practices, new roles that they want to explore and see if it fits into their interests. Impulsivity refers to a inability to think effectively before acting. So this would be seen in quick decisions, rash decisions, where the adolescent may not realize that giving decision making some time or taking time to make important decisions in life is crucial for making the right decisions. So it's important to not judge your adolescent or to not condemn your adolescent, but instead understand that they are going to be impulsive. They may act without thinking about the consequences, and you as a parent can only support them, guide them in the right direction and help them to cope or come up with new coping techniques in order to make decisions effectively. Emotionality will be seen, that is, there is going to be a unstable display of emotions as well as a more intense, more dramatic behavioral response or reaction of emotions rather than just verbal or psychological. The looking glass self is a phenomena where the individual is going to look at themselves from the eyes of others. So how others are going to evaluate them is going to form their sense of identity of themselves. So how you as well as the people around the adolescent are viewing them, that forms a very important template for themselves to judge and guide who they are and what they are capable of and what is their worth and how they will evaluate their abilities as opposed to what they really are. So it will be more dependent on what others feel about them than what they themselves feel. Fallacy of invulnerability. Here, the adolescent has a tendency to feel invincible, that is, to feel indestructible. So, certain things like dangers that you may try to warn them of, they may say that this can never happen to me, this won't happen to me, I won't fall into this. So there is a sense of grandiose sense of invulnerability where they feel that no, I won't be affected and I will not be involved in anything that is negative. I will only have successes. I can do anything and everything that I want. So it's important to understand that this is a tendency and to not condemn it or shame it out of the child, but instead of that, you realistically appraise the situation for the child and you must be able to clearly communicate to the child why, and if not why, then how they could change their situation so that they are not going to be facing any of the consequences due to their exploration, due to their impulsivity, due to their fallacy of invulnerability. Moving on. So the adolescent is also going to imagine an audience. So they will become very, very wary of somebody. They will feel that somebody is watching them or others are judging them. They will feel that their actions are being observed, watched by someone else when they are in public. And what personal fable means is the adolescent may feel that nobody is going through what they are going through, and hence they will make statements like nobody understands me, or you won't get it, or you will never understand what I'm going through. Sensation seeking is their tendency to seek out thrilling situations, people where they are going to want and seek stimulation of sorts, excitement, novelty, that is new things, and they would instead, like at times, be involved in either good sensation seeking activities like trying out new hobbies, talents, or at times they may engage in risky behaviors, which would mean riding or fast, or trying substances, and trying to know more about taboo subjects. Abstract thinking is seen in adolescence, where they are going to be more idealistic, more cause oriented, rather than thinking in black and white terms. Hypothetico-deductive reasoning is a very important and adaptive change in adolescence. Here, the adolescent is going to make predictions, have suppositions, and is going to act or experiment to see whether or not those predicted circumstances are going to be realized or no. So they will engage in observed experiments, or they may engage in trying to find relations, associations between what they already know and new subjects and interests. There will be some changes in morality as compared to children. In adolescence, there is more of a justice orientation rather than just the textbook laws that will be taught to them. Here, they will focus instead more on individual rights. So, your adolescent may be quick to point out inconsistencies in your behavior, in the behavior of others, and they may not be tolerant to injustice or inconsistencies in, say, for example, discipline, in the attention that you give. So here you will see that there will be a massive change in their value system. An important change that occurs here is the preference for staying up later in the night. Please understand that this isn't a choice that the adolescent is making, and in fact, the hormones that are released in the night that induce sleep, that is melatonin and other hormones that bring about sleep, in adolescence, their release is delayed by 1 hour or so. And if you see it, if in terms of standard time, the release will start occurring at 11 p.m., 12 a.m. instead of the earlier times at which the adolescent would go to bed.